Alright guys, in this video tutorial I'm going to show you just the basics of how to use the text, the line, and the shape tool so that you can complete your magazine cover project. Now at this point I've already done all of my editing in Camera Raw. If there was any compositing I wanted to do, I've already done that. So at this step you should already have all the editing and all of that done. I'm just going to show you how to do the text and the line and shape tool. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the shape tool. So if you come down to close to the bottom of your toolbar, which if you don't see this, you go up to Window in the menu bar, click on Tools. Mine looks like a line tool right now. So I'm going to right click this and I want it to be a rectangle tool. Here are all of your options for the different lines and shapes that you can make. So there's an ellipse tool, rounded rectangle, line, polygon, custom shape, lots of different things. I want a rectangle tool because I'm going to show you how to make a border. Okay, so I've got my rectangle tool selected. Now if I were to create a border right now, it would just be a rectangle and it would fill it with this white. I don't want that because I just want a border. So I'm going to go ahead and edit step backward. Okay, and right here where it says fill, I don't want it to fill it with any color. So I'm going to click this white box with the red slash. That means don't fill this. And the stroke is what color the line is going to be. So I want it to be black. This is how thick or thin the line is going to be. And now I'm going to go ahead and draw that rectangle on there. Once I've got everything set. And once I've got it where I want it, drop. This is where I would make any adjustments I wanted to make. I'm good right now, so I'm going to go ahead and click the little X. If I click on my background layer, you can see what that looks like. And now I've created a border. Okay. If at any point I'm going too fast, obviously just pause it, do what you need to do, come back. Okay, so I'm on my background layer, done my border. Now I'm going to, and you do not have to do a border, I'm just showing you some different things you can do. Now I'm going to do my text tool because you will need to have a magazine cover title. You will also need to have little headlines and stories, so you're going to have to be familiar with the text tool. The text tool is close to the bottom again, close to that line and shape tool. It looks like a capital T. If I right click it, there's the horizontal type tool, which just types normally, horizontally across. And then there's the vertical type tool, which would type vertically. The mask tools we're not really going to get into. So I'm going to make sure it's on horizontal. Up here, this is where my fonts are. Okay. So I can click on a font there. I can change that later though. This is where I decide if I want it to be light, bold, whatever. This is how large the font will be. I'm going to have it centered, and then this is the color. So then I just go ahead and click and type. And then I don't want it to be here. I want it to be more centered. So what I need to do is move my mouse till I see this icon with a little move icon, and then go ahead and drop it where I want it. Now if I want to change my font or anything like that, I would just highlight it again, change my font, change my size, whatever I needed to do. Now that I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and click on my background layer again. Let's say I wanted kind of like a shadow box underneath my title. So I'd come back to my rectangle tool. I do want to fill white. I do not want to stroke this time. And then I'm going to go ahead and create my little box. And this isn't, I mean, I like the way it looks, but it's not quite centered. So I'm going to go ahead and come over here to my move tool. And I'm going to wait till I see that move icon again. And I can either use, oops, that's wrong layer. I can either move it this way, rectangle 2, or I can use also my little, keeps going in the wrong layer, or I can use my arrow keys on my keyboard to move it as well. If it's just a slight adjustment, I can do that as well. Now the white seems to stand out a little bit much, so I want to make sure on my rectangle layer for this white rectangle, and this goes for anything, any line, shape, text, whatever you do, if it stands out too much and you want it to be a little bit more see-through, a little more transparent, you can come over to your opacity slider and adjust that there. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my background layer. I'm going to show you the line tool. So if I right click my shape tool, because that's what it's on right now, and click on line tool, all this is, I can come up here again, select my colors, whatever I needed to do, and then I just can create different lines. They'll show up as different layers, for whatever you're wanting to do. Now let's say I wanted it underneath everything. I can adjust my layers. I can drag my layers to different places. Like let's say I had the opacity all the way up. Now those lines appear underneath that box. If I wanted the lines or one line to appear above that box, I could just grab it and drag it up above it. And you'd see it there. Okay. So, and then obviously you are going to add text down in here for your headlines and your stories and different things like that. You do have to have evidence of the rectangle or the shape tools, one of the shape tools, line tools, text. So make sure you're including all of that. That was just a basic rundown of how to do those different things. Once you're done, if you're not completely finished, as always, make sure you're saving it as a Photoshop file, okay? Because if you don't, and that's down here, then you're going to be in trouble. Later, you won't be able to access those layers. If it's completely done, though, you want to make sure you save it as a JPEG. And then open it in Camera Raw, save it in Camera Raw so that the file size is compressed.